Hey, how everybody doing today? I was supposed to be in Chicago today. Weather in Chicago, I don't know. It's around Chicago, but I wasn't able to get in today. I wanted to do everything from Chicago, but I'm at home, sitting in my backyard, just enjoying the weather. It's like about 90 degrees down here in Texas, but it went well. Hi, Sylvester. How you doing, man? Glad to see you join me tonight. Nathan, what's going on, man? I'll be in tomorrow. I hate I couldn't do the show live from intellectualradio.com, but I'll be on at 7, and I'm trying to get on at 7, make it to 7 o'clock all the time. It might change a little bit, but we'll try to keep it going. I want to jump into something today. First of all, the MVP vote. I want to really not stress who is the MVP, but I want to stress how hard it is to get your name into that particular pool. That's not hard. I mean, that's not easy. When you're talking about amongst the best that's playing at your time, we know how good Steph Curry is. We know how good Kevin Durant is. We know how good LeBron James is. We know how good, Russell Westbrook is. We know how good, the kid Davis is. And when you're talking about guys, they're at the top of their game. Hey, Jonathan, what's going on, man? Those things are like incredible. And then we get to a point where we talk about who's the MVP. We're not voting. Hi, Cheryl, how you doing? We're not voting. And I don't think our vote basically counts. Somebody else is voting. But I want you to stress on, okay, everybody has their own MVP and for whatever reasons. But the criteria I look at is that if you're not on the floor with your team, can they still win? And how will they win? Hey, Matthew, how you doing? How will they win? And then extract that star and see what's happening. If we do that right now, I think that, in my humble opinion, LeBron James wins MVP because he took a team that was basically not a very good team. When you look at it, I think the Warriors had 3 guys on their bench that if they were on Cleveland's team, they would start. There's no way that they wouldn't start. The young kid that plays center, I can't remember his name. The guard that comes off for bench, I'll get all their names for you in a minute. But that's valuable that you can take a team like that. But then not looking at the Houston Rockets' success and James Harden in the wrong manner, because they did some incredible things. Absolutely incredible things, because these guys, actually had Golden State down with Chris Paul. So, when you look at it like that thing could have went any way, and injuries play a big part of it. So, that MVP vote, we're not voting. We don't know who's voting. I think it should be a fan vote, but I think that, it's a close thing. It's a very close thing. I just want to just share my part of it. But to be in the vote, I was never in the vote, and I'm not ashamed of it that when guys got named MVP, they were cold. When you talk about Magic getting MVP, when you talk about Bird getting MVP, I never paid much attention to the MVP, really. I was trying to get past the Lakers. But I've never had any second thought about the guy. And when Derrick Rose won MVP, he was the MVP of the league, without a question. When I think Kevin Durant won it, he was MVP. So we're not voting. But when you look at it, I think the guy that has the most value to his team that wins. And that's just, how I go. I've been getting questions all week about the myself and about the Detroit series, with the Bulls. And, to take you where I want to go with this is the fact that champions are built. And when I was traded to the Pistons, I knew for a fact that my role was going to change. But I had done everything else. I had scored a lot of points. I'd been on All-Star games. I had been, in the top 5 in the NBA. I had done all of those things, and that was good. But I had never won a title, and that's not easy. That's not easy at all, let me tell you, because a lot has tried and a lot have failed. So, it's tough to win a title. And when I went to Detroit, let me tell you how much pressure was on me, because they had Adrian Dantley before I was traded, and the only thing on the Detroit Pistons' mind was to win a title. And if they didn't win that title, guess who they were going to say you were the reason that you didn't win the title was because we wouldn't get Mark and Mark. So it was imperative that I look at the game, and I know not only look at the game, I had to dissect the team a little bit, which Isiah had a lot of say-so on the team, and I had to talk to him every night in and night out. Like, listen, this is what I see. We need to talk about it, And when I came over there, if I'm outside and the wind's blowing a little bit. Joe, you can catch it. Joe Dumars was averaging 6 points a game, and basically, being real with you, he was really dependent on AD for most of his stuff. It's a little windy out here. Let me adjust this thing. He was dependent on AD as to be the carrier and not the team. So being that way, you can't win. I mean, you could get to the finals. You can't win. You just can't win. So I had to actually have a conversation with Joe Dumars. We had conversations, we have conversations traveling on the plane. And I was like, Joe, thankfully all my life, when the ball came into me through my entire career, and a lot of you seen me play, is that I was getting double teamed. There was no if and way about it. Somebody was coming, I was getting double teamed. And I had learned to play through those double teams. After a while, you see things so long, you actually learn how to play through them, And I actually learned how to play through the double teams. And that was, an art that I developed and I learned to do. But when I got the ball in the post and I threw it back out to Joe and he threw it back into me while a guy's not guarding you, you're not helping me at all. So Joe actually became a player, at that point. He actually knew, okay, I got to do something, Depaul AD, huh? You think I should be Depaul AD? Well, they got a few issues over there. So I had to get to Joe to believe in himself and believing in the team. And it was all on me, meaning that if we don't win the title, everybody else is going to be fine. It was coming straight at me. And so, I had to really pay attention to that. But we really got it going once I got there, and we had a couple games on our belt, because I kind of saw what Dennis Rodman was, who was a guy who had to be on the court. I kind of got what Sean Sally was, Vinny, Isiah. I knew what he was. I knew what Lambeer was. So Isiah and I talked constantly about what this team was and what our makeup was. And hey, Derek, how you doing? So we devised a way to make it work. And in that devising a way to make it work, my offensive game was going to be diminished a little bit. No more scoring 25, 30. That was out the door. I think our highest average on that team was like 18, 19, something like that, But it worked. It worked. It really worked. And we played hard. We played together. We played to win. But what we established was, what it took to win a championship. And when we decided to establish what it took to win a championship, that was the thing that, was the really fine mixture of our team in order to say, okay, this is how we're going to win it. And everybody bought in, Yes, hey, I'm in Dallas, man. Got to go to Chicago tomorrow, though. Got to get up there and see everybody in Chicago. Hey, Chris, how you doing? But winning the championship is not an easy thing, as Michael Jordan found out. Michael built his team off what we were and how we established ourselves in order to win a title. You know, they talk about we were the bad boys. I'd like for you to really look at those videos or look at what was going on. And, you know, Mike learned how to be a little bad boy himself. You know, and we've talked several times after that championship, and we talk about the fact that in order to win a title, you know, you had to bring it. You had to bring it, man. You couldn't, like, you know, let things go soft, let people, you know, do the things they're doing. You got to take it away. And by him actually looking at us and establishing a way to play, because we got it from Boston and LA shared it, and then he adapted it, and that's how he got to a point where they were incredible. What I must say is that Michael deserves everything that he is, and I think that, you know, he's still, in my eyes, he's the best player to ever play, you know, and that's the way I'm gonna think. LeBron is incredible. You know, I can't take anything away from him, and I don't like to cross him over, but hey, Tony, how you doing? But LeBron is the most incredible, Jordan is the best player that I've ever been on the floor with. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to run him over, and doesn't mean if he come on the post, he need to go up there where the little guard's at. You know, you can't switch off on me. You know, you don't have enough size, enough weight on you. You know, I'm taking you straight to crush bucket. You know, so that's the way it was, you know. But they took it. Michael had breakfast workouts, from my understanding, where they actually had a breakfast club where everybody would go in the morning, work out, get to know each other, run through plays and things like that. And that's the time you got to spend in order to win a title. You know, everybody else talk titles, but it's a different voice when you hear Golden State over the past 3 years. Listen to what they say. Listen to the way they go after things. And if you really listen closely, it's not the same thing as all other teams. Other teams say, yeah, we're going for the title. Yeah, but you're going for the title. How are you going for the title? What y'all doing? What are you working on? Where you want to get better? What is it? You know, but when you talk about, you know, that Jordan, or you talk about that Golden State, or you talk about that Cleveland team, or you talk about that Miami team, you know, they put specifics in and how they're going to get it. That's a team that's looking at the championship. Those other teams talk championship, but, you know, without the work, man, you know, you just wanted a bunch. You basically just wanted a bunch. You know, you just trying. And every year you're going to be wanting a bunch. But every now and then, some guy comes out of the blue that really wants a title. And you can tell. I mean, like now, we can look at teams that are going into next year, and you could say 3 teams you know are going to be there, but there's 2 or 3 others that you say, oh, wow, they're really, really, really trying to get to the title, you know. So it takes work to get to the title. You guys have asked me about, you know, how I felt about my career. You know, kind of, you know, ups and downs. You know, like I say, I wasn't politically correct all the time, but I never hurt anyone. I've never done anything to diminish anyone. I would never talk about anyone in a derogatory manner in the public or on thing. But, you know, I wasn't going to be put in a box and you tell me what I am. I'm not going to do that. If I'd have did that, then I'd have just been another average player. I'm not doing that, you know, and I was built the way I was built. And that's the way I played, you know, but it cost me. I talked to one of my Facebook friends. Hey, Joe, how you doing? I talked to one of my Facebook friends, and he can't believe that my jersey is not retired in Dallas. And it's not. It's not retired in Dallas because I talk the truth in Dallas, and I will always talk the truth in Dallas. The community, you know, they love me here in the community. I mean, because, you know, I'm at the ice cream shop. You know, I'm at the Walmart. I'm a regular guy, you know, and I like being regular. I like being regular. I want you to shake my hand, come up and say hello. How you doing? If I see your kids, I want to know their name, you know, and that's a fullness of life. You know, living in the shades and living behind that little thing, you know, you miss so much. You miss, you know, seeing good people. Hi, Joe, how you doing? No, not Aguirre over Dirk. I'm a fair guy, and I must say Dirk had a better career here in Dallas than I did. My assessment of it, I really appreciate that though. But I like living simple. I like people. And I want to be able to touch people and be able to talk to people and do these things. But in the NBA, I established the fact that there wasn't a small forward that you could actually put on me and say that he was guarding me. No, he was not guarding me. You better come with a couple boys to double team me. And if they don't, they're getting crushed. And they know they're getting crushed. And just like the Pistons know they're getting crushed, I'll tell you a funny story. And I hope this gentleman, if he gets it, it's not to embarrass you or it's not to say anything. But then if you want to go back to film, it is what it is. I went to Detroit, and I was in the Western Conference, and Detroit's in the Eastern Conference. So Detroit's only plays Seattle once a year, but I played Seattle 5 times. I don't know what it was. And there's a gentleman on the Seattle Sonic teams. It was Xavier McDaniel. And when I got to Detroit, we were playing Seattle, and Lambeer came in and said, "Oh my goodness!" He said, "We're going through the pregame. What are we going to do with Xavier McDaniel?" And I looked up. I was like, "Xavier McDaniel, really?" And I went out, and you can check the books. Matter of fact, I don't even think they let X guard me anymore. They didn't let him guard me. I don't know for sure, but I don't remember him guarding me much. But he had to guard me in Detroit because of our lineup. And it wasn't nothing nice. It wasn't nothing nice, And like I say, I'm not diminishing Xavier McDaniel, but he knows there's no way he could guard me at all. And when I got in after the game, Lambeer was like, "Whoa, you did that to X?" I was like, "Wow." I said in my mind, I said, "You underestimate me highly. I just have to play like this in order to win a title. But as it pertains to a one-on-one, do you know how many jumpers you get because your man is double teaming me?" That's what I wanted to say, but I couldn't say that. That wouldn't be fair. But these are some of the questions I'm getting from you guys, and I'm just being honest. Like I say, there's some incredible ball players in the league, and some players you have tough times. Larry Bird was, man, wasn't quick, wasn't fast, but geez, Bernard King was tough. Dominique Wilkins, you had to keep up with him. It was some tough guys in the league, but once I got to Detroit, it was amazing because no longer could they run. Well, they did in Chicago because Horace Grant guarded me most of the time in Chicago. I would have loved to have matched up with Scotty. Just like my blood is. I want to know who's the best is. I want the end of the day when you and I come off the floor. If you win and you get me, I'm a ball player. Whoa, I'm having a hard time with him. But I never ever. Hey, Aaron, how you doing, man? I never ever got to be mano a mano with Pip, and then they still double teamed me when I had Horace on me. So I don't know. It was tough. Going through that championship series, knowing that you could do a lot more things. But thank you very much, Chris. I could do a lot more things, but I gotta do what it takes in order to win. And the win is more important than anything else. I think, I'm just answering you guys about my game because I'm getting so many questions about my game, and I hope I get to where you guys understand where I thought about my game. Most of the time when I got a bigger guy on, I had enough handles where that wasn't an issue too. And if you weren't about 6'10", and you had to be about 280, 290, basically, to keep me off the block. But then I was still getting to the block a little bit, So so far as the NBA, and I'm not saying this to brag, you check it out. You go to the films. I had good nights, I had bad nights, but on the average, I didn't have a matchup. I basic every night. I didn't really have a matchup. Just like all the great. Don't put me in this by myself. Really great players. Olajuwon. There was no matchup for Hakeem Olajuwon. Come on. There was no matchup for Larry. Come on. There was no matchup for Tim Duncan. There was no matchup for Magic Johnson. There was no matchup for, some people. There's just no matchup, and you can see it in the game. They have to double team in order to get it out your hands. Charles Barkley. There was no matchup. The most dominant player ever to play, Shaquille O'Neal, there was no matchup. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. And when you grade these people, don't grade them off of what I call the Jordan effect. Because Jordan has 5 guys watching him. And if your guy feels like he can lead you and go help, what does that say about you? Hey, Gary, how you doing? What does that say about you? You're going to lead me. I know I wasn't on the floor. My man rotated. They picked a different rotation because I wasn't going to be left open. You don't see Curry's man rotating. You see if the ball comes his way and somebody gets fruit, somebody else go help him. Curry man doesn't leave. Durant man doesn't leave him. LeBron man doesn't leave him. When you're looking at basketball, don't let anybody tell you, who's who and what's what. Watch the game. Just watch the game. When you watch the game, you'll see these things. And most of you, I can tell you know what's going on. You really know what's going on. Hey, how you doing? Wow, these guys are hitting it up tonight, and I really want to make sure. But what I really want out of you guys too is that I don't know. I really want to answer some of your questions that maybe because I was in the league, I can give you a little insight on them, because a fan that knows a little bit more will understand, what to expect from his team. Hey, how you doing, Aaron? Hi, Kathleen. Wow. Joe, geez. Wow, the Sports Illustrated cover, right? You're going to bring that back? Oh, man. I tell you what, man, I'm on Intellectual Radio. I'm going to start doing it. My schedule has just been going so hard, and I've been moving from going back and forth from Dallas to Chicago. But we're going to make sure that it's consistent. That's why I got on tonight. Detlef Schrempf. Oh, man, Matthew McCullough. Detlef Schrempf. Hey, tell you about that guy. They brought that guy to come over here to take my spot. Real quick story. They brought Detlef to come here to take my spot. And at that time, I was basically a young, just straight gangster. I was, chewing everybody up, spitting them out. And he came in with a little chip on his shoulder thinking he's going to compete for my spot. And when we practiced every day, I hate to skip around like this, but that was really interesting. But when we practiced, you know how when you get in line, the next guy in line, you turn around and compete against him. I followed that guy around practice for about 2 weeks to make sure that he and I stayed in competition every day. And, I've been in the league 4 years, so I'm a lot better than he is at that point. But I was wrong. I destroyed that kid. I didn't let him breathe. I destroyed him, like every day, destroyed him. And funny how things work out. I left the gym one day, and he was still sitting in the gym on the bench. And I was leaving, and I saw him in there, and my heart just drew me to him. And I went in there and sat with him for a minute, and we started talking. And it's amazing how you don't know what you don't know. And me and this guy talked for a while, man, and I was like, wow, because I never said anything to him, not a word. I was after him. And we became great friends. And then we started playing one-on-one all the time. He, myself, and Roy Tarplin, rest his soul, was an incredible player, Roy was. But we started playing one-on-one every day, and wow, did Detlef have skills. Oh, my goodness. And I think by us playing one-on-one, he made me better because that was pretty quick on defense. And by us playing one-on-one, I got better and he got better. And it had got to a point where he became a major part of us winning. And I was like looking for him. Dad, where you at, man? Come on. Need some help out here today. But that was a funny story. And Detlef, wherever you're at, I hope you see this, man. I so much appreciate you, man. Funny how things were meant to be one way and they turned out a different way. He got to be a great friend. Detlef, love you to death, man. You're a good guy, man. Love you to death. And that was great we were put together like that. But, I'm not going to change. I'm going to be true to the game, and I'm going to be true to you as I talk because everything is not roses, and I didn't do everything right. I did a lot of stuff so far as court-wise. There's some things that things I did wrong, but I'm man enough to step up to it. But it was always about the win. Always, absolutely about the win. How you doing, Felicia? No, Muhammad Ali was in a world by itself. When you talk about people like that, please don't mention anybody else in that world. He's by himself alone. Muhammad Ali. I mean, that's phenomenal. That's Roy Tarpley had incredible skills for a 7-footer. Matter of fact, he was probably the first stretch 4 in the league. A guy that could do that at 6'11", 7 foot. But I'm going to try to get this time down, guys, because we were trying to do it every Tuesday. And now with the AAU coming up, and I really want to focus on the AAU because I talked to some of the biggest directors of AAU tournaments and some of the coaches, and I'm going to start having interviews with them on intellectualradio.com. I want to get their insights on the things that are going well and things that are not going well, because our kids are at stake right now. All of these fake AAU teams and these fake AAU coaches, I am what I am. I'm pulling them out. I go see a game and I see you doing this stuff. You need to come over and talk to me and tell me what you're doing. If you don't tell me what you're doing, hey, Pam, how you doing? I want to let them know, you be skeptical of that team. I want to be the mark list of AAU basketball, and I want some friends to tell me. I want you to tell me because we got our kids wasting time, wasting valuable time, wasting skill time out there with people who have no idea what they're doing. And you know them. I guarantee you right now you could think of at least 3 to 5 of them can't coach. Hey, Mike, how you doing, man? They can't coach. Steve, what's up, man? And I want to pull this out because think about the talent that we're missing. Just think about the talent that we're missing. I mean, I got guys now that are about to, enter college, and when I saw them young, they had so much promise. I mean, so much promise. And then you go away a couple years and they go through this AAU. What happened to you? You're still playing the same game I saw you 3 years ago. What happened? What are you doing? Who were you playing with? Who was your coach? What happened? And I think, personally, this thing is moving around. I'm just trying to. Personally, I think it has a lot to do with how a coach brings a kid along, and it could be something else natural, I don't know. But I think it has a lot to do with the way they're taught, not only just skill-wise, the way they're taught so far as how to approach the game, the way you work, the way you improve, the way you practice. Because if a kid has talent, he's working hard. Wow, Teddy Grubbs, man. Wow, Matthew. Teddy Grubbs. Wow, hurts my heart, man. Let me tell you. Love Teddy Grubbs, man. Jeez, you hit a sore one right there. Love Teddy Grubbs, man. Wow. Love him to death, man. Wow, don't take me back to Depaul, man. Incredible. all my guys, all my friends, Chicago. Jeez, you know, it was magical. It was magical, you know. So getting back to, I'm going to focus on the AAU kids. I'm going to have another telecast on intellectualradio.com on Saturday, where I'm actually going to sit down with one of the biggest AAU groups in the world, and we're going to sit down and talk about it. And I hope you guys can tune in, and I hope you can come on and ask questions. I just want to really let you know what they think and what's going on. I just want to know what they think, what's going on. I want you to ask the question, ask the tough question, because a lot of you go see AAU, watch AAU, and you got people traveling with kids from country to country, from state to state under conditions they shouldn't be traveling under. It's just some horror stories, man, and we don't know them. And if it's going to keep going on, we can't subject our kids to things that people are doing just to get you to pay money. And I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of looking at it. And I'm just tired of people just digging in people's pocket. Everybody should pay what they want to pay. Everybody should pay to get what they need to get. Get their dollars worth. And like I said again, I'm not the perfect one, but I know when you're getting ripped off. And there's a lot of people getting ripped off. And it just bothers me. It absolutely bothers me. This show is not going to go too much longer because I really have to get ready. I have a real early flight leaving out of here tomorrow to get to Chicago. Like I say, I'm going to be live on intellectualradio.com on Saturday with one of the biggest people in AAU, biggest groups in the AAU, and she knows it ups and downs. Kenny Patterson, Rod Strickland are my favorites guards of Depaul ever. Yes, sir. You got two good ones, buddy. You got two good ones. Hey, how you doing, Jared? Good to see you. Oh, man. Well, how you guys doing? Lewis, what's going on? Thank you, man. Oh, see you soon, too, Mario. Wow, man. Hey, you don't know, man. This thing has gone so crazy. But I want you guys, when you think about things, man, and I'm going to be kind of in the middle of the week, not on Intellectual Radio, just hitting certain topics. And, at the end of the day, I just want to, let people know what's going on, man. And, I don't think any other pro athletes, this is free time. I'm just at home, sitting in the backyard, looking around. Sitting in the backyard, looking around, being a bum, totally being a bum. I'm going to get up for a minute. Ooh, man, don't get up like I used to get up, man. It's tough. I'm going to walk you over, man. I got, this is what I do sometimes, man. Little simple things when you talk about it. I got peach trees that I grew, that I put in a long, long time ago. But the weather came through and it actually uprooted them and pulled them up. But I was able to replant one of them. And now the peaches are just getting to a point where they're about to grow up. And it probably won't be a good crop this time, but it'll be a good crop next year. But if you see these things, I don't know if you can see these things. Oh, see that? Those are peaches. Those are peaches right there. I hope you can see them. Do you see those? But anyway, I enjoy being outside, and like I say, I'm a simple guy. And again, I want to just thank all you guys for, let me share with you, because this is a big part of what I really want to do is just kind of get the truth out about certain things, you know, and there's no other NBA guys dropping it from inside. And this might mean I won't ever get an ESPN job. So if I don't, whatever, you know, because I'm dropping it from the inside. And, you know, I don't care. I'm going to let you guys know, you know. I'm going to drop it as straight as I can, you know. But I'm going to give you it all, and I'm going to be happy I'm giving it to you all. And, you know, I got some other brothers. You know, we don't want to shoot dirt on nobody, but I really want to drop it all to you. Yeah, I really want to drop it all to you. I'm going to end this. I appreciate you. God bless you, you know, and please just let me know what you're thinking about. You know, like I say, this might not be my ESPN day. I don't think I'll get one after these things, but you know what? I'll feel good about helping somebody. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys.